want you to make these comparisons. So these are the things that are the same. 3 main sections. B theme is recapped and tonic. Things that are different are restatement of A goes directly to development in sonata rondo, and then that final restatement of A at the end is unlike what sonata allegro does. All right. Also, for this next test, you should be able to describe ritornello form. You know, that's associated with Baroque, and double exposition. That first movement of a Mozart concerto should be able to describe the tutti sections, and be able to describe Mozart cadenza. So there will be some, discussion of form on this next test. All right, now, in this particular movement, of course, it's not going to follow exactly this plan, but it follows close to this plan. So what we're going to hear, the A theme is unusual, because if you look at your score, the way the A theme is stated, it sounds like it's in C major. You don't really get a clear idea of what key it's in until a little bit later. And the orchestra states this A theme, which is the rondo theme, and then the piano restates it, and it's embellished. And then you have this dialogue back and forth, and then it leads to a transition section. And then it does modulate then, and it goes to the key of D major, and then you have the B theme that's presented in D major like you expect. The B theme is very lyrical. One of the things that Beethoven does in this particular concerto is that he writes a lot of the solo part in a very high treble part of the keyboard range, which really makes that project and sing out above the orchestra. So the B theme is real high range. And it's lyrical, as you would expect. The second part of the B theme then presents these broken chords, and it's virtuosic. And this leads then to a return of the rondo theme, first return of it. And the final passage before that theme returns are these sweeping scales with the piano. So it's just a real typical Beethoven piano writing style. So you do have then a restatement of this theme that then has connecting passage here. So that's one thing with this. You can always have connecting passages of transitions, retransitions. You can have a transition here between any of these sections. So the development section then is one which is going to be developing the A theme. And so you'll hear that back and forth between the piano and the orchestra. And he develops the A theme so much here that he omits this. So in this movement, this doesn't come back, but instead it goes to a restatement of the B theme in tonic, which then leads to this big then setup for this final return of A. But what happens then when this comes back, then you have more that unfolds where you have some development of the B theme. It then leads to a cadenza, which is very brief, but which Beethoven writes out. And then you have a final statement, another statement of A at the end in this big coda. So he omits this part right here, goes to that brings back another B, and then it's developed. It's like an F sharp major for a moment, so it goes to some really remote keys. And then a little cadenza at the end. So we're going to stop there. We'll listen to this next class. If you'll pass those scores across.